Hello Turtle fans! If you have come across this video, then you likely have already discovered the Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram pages for TMNT Decennium. TMNT Decennium is a new fan-based web series for people who, well, like the turtles. I'm David Gilmore, and I'm the voice behind the character Usagi. Our content creator, Leroy Diaz, has asked all the voiceover actors to come up with a series of videos that will help provide you with a little more background of ourselves and what got us into TMNT. He has given us a series of questions to act as a guideline throughout our videos. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Our first two questions are, why do you like TMNT and what got you into TMNT? Well, first I have to say that there are quite a few things I like about this series. The first is that having been a genetics major in college, the concept of mutant turtles, mutant animals, or mutant beings of any kind just really captivates me. I think this series was really well ahead of its time in that it presented people with important concepts. These were concepts involving morality, responsibility, and being stewards for our planet. And it did so in a very effective medium, that being a cartoon. Something that would be of interest to children and people of the younger generations. What got me into TMNT? Well, first I have to tell you that my generation was just a little bit ahead of TMNT. Let me give you a timeline. When this series first came about in around 1987, I was already in college. By the time the first three movies came out between 1990 and 1993, I was in graduate school. And by the time the second cartoon series came out in 2003, I had already completed medical school and was in the process of finishing up my medical residency. So I was not someone who had a lot of time to watch TV, let alone cartoons. But that was not to say I had no familiarity with the turtles. Now, actually, who didn't? I was familiar with the series, I knew what the Turtles was about, I knew their names, and in fact, I had a very good friend with a small child who used to like to watch the Turtles. So, periodically, we would all sit on the couch and watch it together. What made you want to audition for TMNT Decennium? Well, I have to be honest with you. My audition was a mistake. You heard me correctly. I said it was a mistake. I came across a posting for a voiceover job, and I noticed that it was placed by someone from my local area. So I figured, well, why not give it a try? It was something that I'd never done before, and I figured I'd learn more about it as I went along. I don't think it was until after I started preparing the first set of sides that I actually figured out that TMNT stood for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But by that point, I was so invested in the process, I decided I was going to see it through and just have some fun with it. And you know how the expression goes, the rest is history. What do you want to bring to your character? Well, I have to say that I would really like to add some more depth to this character. But first let me explain who this character is. Usagi, or Usagi Yojimbo as his full name is described, is not one of the turtles. He's actually a rabbit. And the word Usagi actually means rabbit in Japanese. And the second half of his name, Yojimbo, means bodyguard. So he's a rabbit bodyguard. In fact, he's actually a step out of the past. He comes from ancient Japan. He started studying the martial arts at a very young age, which also means that he made quite a few mistakes along the way. And now that he's reaching adulthood age, he's trying to correct some of those mistakes, and he'd like to try to start paying it forward. So he's actually a character with a pretty high moral compass. And he'd like to try to help out as many people as possible that actually require his services. So I would like to broaden this character. I would like him to help broaden the other characters around him. I would like this character to help convey some kind of message or be of value to the watchers. I would like to add some kind of element to this this character's personality that's identifiable to just about anybody who's watching. What do you hope the series will bring for you and for your fans? Well, as for myself, whenever I accept an acting job, I like to accept something that's going to push me a little further out of my element than the previous job. And then my next job after that, something that's going to push me a little further than the previous one to that. And I think this job actually does that for me. Because first of all, it's a voiceover job, something that I've never attempted doing before. So that experience in itself is a whole new process for me. It's the first time I'm ever trying to portray an anthropomorphized animal, meaning an animal that's taken somewhat of a human form. And hopefully it's going to help convey some kind of message. So when you put all those three together, it's likely to come up with something that's going to be quite challenging. And it's a job that I really do look forward to. As for our fans, well, obviously, first and foremost, we want it to be something enjoyable. We want it to be something that helps convey a message and something that you feel has some value to it. We want it to be something that helps bring your family together. We want something that's overall just very enjoyable for you. So, indeed, if you find that you like what we do, I ask that you remember to like and subscribe and help pass along the word. I'm David Gilmore, and I hope to see you during further episodes.